What's up, people? It's time to apply this knowledge. This one will be a little bit different. I'm going to teach you guys how I watch film anyway, and I'm just going to show you pattern recognition anyway. Single high usually equal jet motion power runs and or jet motion deep shots, right? Whenever the Packers saw the 49ers out in a single high look, that's what they elected to do in most cases. The 49ers knew that as well, so they were giving some counters later on. And when you had too high, they work underneath, whether that's run or you'll see sometimes a jet motion and a short throw, which is how you attack those. It's not like rocket science there. The one thing that they did, even though they're not what you would call a running team, the Packers, that is they ran aggressively and they ran consistently. Even when they weren't getting yards out of it, you'll see that they're still running. And I'm going to show you what effects that was having on the 49ers as we move forward. A lot of people think I just think we should just run just to be running. It's not that. Even when you don't get yards, it works. Also, single highs usually cheated over to Adams, who was the hot hand. And when they did that, it allowed guys on the other side to work single coverage and actually get these types of opportunities. Even though, this one's actually successful. There's one that you're going to see that's not, but I'm just showing you the concepts, not necessarily the outcomes here. Too high again, so you guys are going to start paying attention to that pattern. With too high, what did I say we will see? What did I say they'll generally do? You guys got it? All right, let's go. What are you going to see? Exactly. They're going to work underneath to their running back or work short or run the ball. This is built into their offense. I don't know if that's Aaron Rodgers or their offensive coordinator, who I think is also their head coach. But that's exactly what they elected to do almost every time they saw too high. They got rid of the ball pretty quick or they ran the ball. The 49ers caught on, though, in this drive. So they brought that safety down late because they wanted him to make that too high play call, and then now he's stuck in it. Whatever he called. Rodgers knows this too, and he kind of double pumps it because he didn't realize they were all on it. Even Bosa's onto it, and this could have been a pretty bad play. Make sure you guys hit that like button too. This could have been a pretty bad play, although Rodgers, catches this one. The 49ers have stifled this entire drive with just that little trickery at the end of the drive. They didn't disguise anything until the end. And once they did, this drive is now they've backed him up, and now it's pretty much over because he has what he's looking for on the front side. Aaron Rodgers does, which is Devontae Adams, because that safety's cheating away from him. But Bosa again, and this is why you have to run the ball to kind of tire those guys out and get rid of that pass rush. But Bosa again slashes in there, forcing a hold and destroying this entire drive, which was that play was open when you look at it. It's just that he got pushed off of that spot so fast that he didn't have an opportunity to get it there. So you're starting to see, and even in that first drive, you start to recognize the pattern and what works. Okay, so what have you learned? You have too high. What are they going to be doing here? What do you think? Short to their running back. Usually a running back, sometimes a tight end. But not that this is like science where it's in stone, but these are patterns, meaning more often than not, this is what you see. This is an example of what targeting your number one receiver, wink, wink, does, because Adams actually holds the safety on most of these plays in the beginning of the game, which opens up for these other guys. See, Adams splits this too high due to the fact that second safety has to respect him no matter where he is. Even though they're too high, he abandons his own zone, which allows that post pattern, that late developing post pattern, to break open due to the fact that safety curls down and gets caught there. So that was his zone. He was supposed to be there, but you have to respect Adams when you see him, and that was the effect of them actually using Adams effectively throughout the season. They're throwing to their number ones. Wink, wink. Maybe we should use Amari Cooper a little bit the same. Less as a decoy, but establish it so that he can start doing his thing. There was that too high run again. Here's a little disguise too high. They're still up there though, and they're going to do it again. And they're not getting many yards, as you can see. They're not killing it, but these things right here matter. These linemen getting a chance to impose their will, use their actual weight, because the offensive line, if you guys don't know, is heavier than the defensive line in most cases, pound for pound. So when they get to throw that weight around, they get a little bit more comfortable, and they get to tee off on the defensive line, which pays off late, sort of like body shots in a boxing match. It pays off late in games. You saw that same concept, single high. opposite side, cheating over to Adams, and it's to St. Brown. It's incomplete. Here's single high again. There's jet motion. They're going to run power to the weak side. All right, here you go. Boom. And this is what we want. This is how you slow down in pass rush, as I said. Look at the defenders. They're all either double teamed or they're having to apply a lot of effort in order to stop these runs. That doesn't always translate into the stat sheet, because when you're looking at the stats, you say, oh, this guy ran 5 times for 10, 15 yards, which isn't great. We don't want that. But it does have its effect, especially when you're dealing with a team that's going to come down to the wire because they know how to play. So in the playoffs, running the ball is at the utmost importance. I don't know why I keep getting arguments with people for that. This exchange here was cute by the Niners. They exchanged post-snap, which will trick a lot of quarterbacks. It tricks Rodgers here because he thinks that he has Adams breaking across on this crossing route, and that safety is now in that spot. So he's stuck staring at that. This could have turned into what they would call a coverage sack, or he has to just get rid of the ball like he does here. It's Aaron Rodgers, so he pulls a Mahomes on this one. But they busted that play up. Had he not done that, that was a sack for sure, because they tricked him with that post-snap motion in that exchange, and they did it selectively. So first, what the Niners did was establish those looks by not cheating and showing their hand too soon, and then they would just sprinkle one of those exchanges and those moves in there late. If you guessed run on this one, you were correct, because you see that too high, and Aaron Rodgers calls it. These are the types of audibles I want to see us calling sometimes when they see those too high looks like Denver did. I want us to start calling some audibles so that we can take advantage of some of this stuff underneath. But look at the effect. We already saw what it did to 95, but look at how many bodies get thrown around on a running play. There's Fred Warner, and then here's Jaquiski Tart jumping over here, and he's going to land on Warner. Then that could have, I don't know if that's not Tart though, but then he falls on his shoulder. Like those types of, even though that was one running play, it has its effect. They have to get up off the ground over and over again. And these runs actually are going to start, you're going to see late in the game, they're going to start paying off. Not that he's going to get super huge runs, but again, you'll see how many people have to deal with the running back when you actually run the ball. This is what made it so that Aaron Rodgers can start hitting some of those outside looks to Davante Adams later in the game, because he didn't have to worry about the pass rush as much, because Bosa and those guys were definitely tired. All right, there's that jet sweep power run weak side for nothing. Didn't get you really anywhere, but you get the concept. I'm going concept over scheme, so I didn't pick out plays based off of how effective they were and just say, hey, if you do this stuff, you're going to blow them out. That's not how it works, man. I show what you do in certain situations, and you do it enough, and you execute. Hopefully you win. Law of averages should prevail. That fumble on the outside there backed these guys up. So that drive ended that way too. They went forward out in the red zone. But here we go, too high again. There's another run, and you can see same effect. These guys are starting to get tired here up front. You can see 95, he's not holding those double teams. That's solid. Bosa here. His leg almost gets messed up on this one. You can see he's favoring that knee already, and then 13 just falls on it. And there he is. He's going to fall on it. There you go. You get to see a look at that. But Bosa didn't have anything late in this game. Now, this time they cheat away from Adams, but they're going to sneak across pre-snap. They wanted him to put that call in Aaron Rodgers, and now he's committed to that play because he had to snap the ball. But he doesn't give a damn, because he actually has chemistry with his number one receiver. So he throws back shoulder to Adams, and they have this down to they have it down to a science. It's very beautiful the way they do that. We'll give him his credit where credit is due. But there's a lot less get off now when you see these running plays, and when you see pass plays in the fourth quarter. There was a lot less get off out of the Niners, due to the fact that although the Packers weren't killing it on the ground, they were consistent on the ground, which tired those guys out. Late in games, chemistry definitely overrides scheme, because as you can see, there's a safety over the top. So the scheme would say, hey, don't go there with the ball. But so what? Because we actually have chemistry here. So Aaron Rodgers actually gets this ball out to a covered man in Davante Adams. You couldn't have asked 27 to cover that one any better. Really couldn't. Here you go. If you're thinking run, so are the Niners, because they've run it almost every time they saw too high. This time they fake the run and do a little quick screen. So this screen catches the Niners by surprise due to the timing of it. But here they do it again, too high, because they know that he's not going to try to throw into that. Even when we're in the goal line, or we're there in the goal line, he wasn't throwing against that. So that opens it up underneath as well, keeps that extra man out of the box, and you can see the effort that Bosa puts into making this particular play.
Congratulations, son. You made it. You passed the test. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Yeah. What can you prove, huh? Nothing. Where's your evidence, huh? I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. How you want it, dog? Huh? Closed casket? You remember that fool in the wheelchair?